Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Spiritual Grind. We hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to follow, hit the little bell for your notifications when the podcast is posted, and follow, and share with your friends. We hope you enjoy it. Leave a comment if there's any topics that you want us to speak about.
Like, follow, share.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jenny. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Spiritual Grind. We are here again for your listening pleasure.
Good morning.
Should I give you the deep tone voice?
Should I? Should I stay or should I go?
Oh, my goodness. Well, what just happened? I think my earphones are off. Because that sure sounded like Dr. Jenny singing. Oh, anyway.
Life is a big musical in my head.
It is. You know what? You know what life is? Life is fun.
Life is fun.
Life is fun. Which brings me to my topic today.
Indeed.
Do you overthink life?
Of course. You know I do, girl.
We had the coffee talk this morning a little bit, and when I ran to the store, and on my way back, I was sitting there because had to stand in line forever because of the Powerball drawing. Oh my God, it's like 1.6 billion, and I was trying to get our Powerball ticket, and there was like 40 people in line.
Right.
It was insanity because it was right at lunch. Of course, I decided to go to the store at lunch.
Right.
And so while I was standing there in line, I was thinking about our conversation this morning and how even us, after so many years of doing this, reading, studying, humanistic sciences and working with people and understanding human beliefs and patterns and programs, we still overthink too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the thing that I try to do every time we sit down at these microphones is keep it genuine, man.
Yeah.
We are not some fucking gurus that got it all figured out.
Speak for yourself.
We're just doing the same thing you guys are doing out there, which is trying to figure it out the best way we can each and every day whenever the shit sandwich comes up and you got to deal with it. I'm no different. This morning's topic was all in my baseball field. It was all about the garbage that I'm mucking around in. Feel free to share.
Overthinking it.
Overthinking. Absolutely.
We'll share Dr. Jenny's.
And it makes no fucking logical sense. I'm going to have to bleep that out.
But. And we have, you don't have to bleep it out. We have.
Well,
anyway.
It just aggravates me just like it would any other human.
Yeah. Dr. Jenny's thing that she's talking about is she was raised in an environment to where women were taught, A, they have to take care of their man, and B, they have certain specific duties that they have to fulfill to A, keep their man happy, and B, be loved.
Yeah, the wifely duties.
Yeah, the wifely duties are
and
chores.
And the stupid thing is, I don't even know. I had such a weird upbringing. I don't even know. I can't really even pinpoint where all that bullshit came from because my mom on a regular basis was not in the picture.
Yeah.
So I didn't have like a parental template to really work from. And I spent a lot of time at my grandparents' houses, and they were still married to their spouse of many, many, many years. And neither one of those relationships were really healthy. They had one set of grandparents that didn't like each other. And so they went to opposite ends of the world basically every day. He went to the farm and she stayed at home and played with us grandkids. And that was kind of their life. but they slept in separate beds. They still got in arguments, heavy, heated arguments.
Yeah.
If she wanted to go dancing like at the VFW, she took me, not him, when I got older.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of it, the other grandparents, like she cooked and cleaned and did all the housework, and he went to the shop and welded because he was a welder.
Uh-huh.
But she nagged his ass up one side and down the other. She was a very devout Pentecostal.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to church every time those damn doors were open. And at home, it was the 700 Club playing on the TV
Oh my
constantly.
God, it drove me nuts.
Until it was time for, what's that Bob Barker?
Oh, Price is Right?
Yeah, right. Price is Right. And then in the evening, it was Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, at 6 o'clock.
She would nag his ass about he liked to drink beer. He smoked Camel cigarettes with no filter. Constantly on his ass about both of those things.
Yeah.
And as the oldest grandchild, who everybody wanted to be a boy, I ended up inadvertently taking on that tomboy persona.
Yeah.
So I would spend most of my days out in the shop with him, learning how to weld, doing boy things.
Okay.
So I don't even know where that came from. I mean, the closest I can come to is my grandparents' relationships and watching those.
Yeah. Well, and there's probably a lot of listeners that hear this, and everybody needs to hear. We've actually kind of touched on it a little bit over the course of the last year on our podcast. But when you overthink things, like, for example, and I will use abundance or money.
Actually, use
as an
sex.
example. Use sex.
Use my example.
Okay. And so Dr. Jenny was taught. I think I'm going to use abundance. I like that example better. So in the money-wise situation, when you're overthinking life, you have a tendency, yes, we create our reality. Yes, we are in what we put out energy-wise, we get back. That is all part of our spiritual beliefs and our living, and that's how we live. But the big part of that a lot of people get confused is in the process of creating their reality, they have a tendency to create scenarios of stuff they know nothing about, or they shouldn't even be creating. So they're building an expectation on what their reality is supposed to be and don't even really know what it's supposed to be. And so you create a bottleneck. And
right. So you create the story or the picture, just so I can reconfirm what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Of what it should look like in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And that inadvertently creates a situation where you're not only not allowing that version to come in, but you're not allowing an expanded version of that if it were to be.
Right. It's a very limiting practice.
Yeah.
And so when you get to a spot to where you are creating scenarios in your head of how something should look,
and then hanging on to that,
and then hanging on
with a
to
death
that
grip.
Yeah, we're hanging. I see people do it in jobs. I see people do it in life. I see people do it in relationships, in money, in sex, in whatever. They create this scenario in their head of how they want their reality to look in this specific topic. And it is okay to have beliefs, patterns, and program that create that reality. But it's not okay when you put parameters or expectations on that reality to look this way.
Right.
Because you put it out there in the world and you create your reality, you have to let it go. You have to be okay with either way for when it happens, whatever happens, because you don't know the steps by which you're going to get there. We don't yes, we have crystal balls in our world, but when you don't have anything that's going to tell you, if I do this, this is going to happen, and then that's going to happen, and then that's going to happen, and this is going to happen. All we do is we say, listen, I want to get here. Spirit, take the wheel.
Yeah.
And when you start creating those scenarios in your head, those scenarios are based off your beliefs, patterns, and programs.
Right.
When your beliefs are not in the right place for where you are now, like your belief of you have wifely chores, otherwise I'm not going to be happy.
Well, yeah, and that's something that came up for me is to give you guys insight on what he's talking about. In my definition of being a good wife, air quote, what baggage still lived there is if I don't provide my man with sex as a wifely duty, he's going to go somewhere else to get it. I was still, after all these years, I'm still carrying that bullshit around.
Well, yeah, and you're using
And
sex as an example, but you were doing it in a lot of other topics as well.
Right. But because we've been talking about spiritual sex, I thought I would bring that in since that's the most recent thing this last couple of days that the shadow work that I've been doing for myself. Because, man, I'm tired of lugging that fucking baggage around.
Right. I mean, like the example I told you this morning, I can say in the car, man, I'm hungry. And all I'm doing is kind of communicating verbally that I'm setting the intention that I'm going to go get something to eat. And Dr. Jenny will go through her entire bag of goodies that she has. Okay, do you want peanuts? Do you want crackers? Do you want blah, blah? And she'll go over. And I'm like, no, because I know what she carries. What it does is from this side of the plate, it puts me in a weird position.
How so?
You've gotten irritated when you say cacapues, you know, and so
in Spanish, I was taught that meant okay, you want shit instead,
right? When I go through that list, and I'm like, no, because I'm thinking in my head what I want to eat.
Yeah.
And you get to the end, you're frustrated because you just offered me everything you have. I've stated I'm hungry, and somehow you've taken it on the ownership of it's your responsibility to make sure I eat.
Right. And the funky part about it is I didn't realize that I was doing that because I still was hanging on to it's my wifely duty to make sure that you've got something to eat.
Right.
I cloaked it as I'm doing it because this is the bag of stuff I have, and I'm kindly just offering what I have to you. And if you want to eat it, you do, and if you don't, you don't.
Right.
That's how I saw it.
Yeah, right.
But I didn't see the accountability in the real place of I'm still hanging on to that bullshit of, oh, it's my wifely responsibility to put my wife cape on and go into action because he said he's hungry.
Right.
And the vision that pops up is my grandmother, the devout Pentecostal one. That's exactly that's her whole lot in life, to make sure that the man is fed and he eats before the children do. And
oh yeah, that used to go on my house.
That was how
too.
the whole household was. He got his plate first and she made it for him. She took it to him. Wifely duty. So what's coming up right this minute is this image. And that's exactly where I created my template from, was watching her do that.
Yeah. Well, you said it right, is you mask it. A lot of people have a tendency to do that. So, and that's where I was kind of going with this, is it's overthinking things. And it's because I am like, I don't know how many times I've told you in our relationship together, I'm a big boy. I can do my own laundry. I can cook my own clothes. Yeah. I can clean my own house.
Well, and in the first parts of our relationship, and maybe even now, I don't see my energy, but definitely in the first parts of our relationship, I kind of got offended at that. Like, you're not letting me do my wifely duty.
And so, and it becomes a masking, because when I tell you I don't need the things, it's kind of like the same scenario when you said, if you're going to cheat with somebody, make sure you take me.
Right.
It's kind of the same scenario. Is it when I take away the responsibilities that you have as a belief, you'll mask it.
Wow, what the fuck am I supposed to do then?
Yeah, but then you mask it with something else.
You don't need me. What am I supposed to do?
I choose you. I don't need you.
Right, but that's the kind of existential crisis where I've got to redefine everything,
right,
and go into create a whole nother grid or matrix, if you will, of, okay, then what's the fucking point of being your wife if what does wife mean?
You're salty
then?
Today, aren't you?
I am salty, man. I got my
You're
salty
dropping that F-bomb a lot.
What's the point in being the wife?
Right.
What does the wife definition mean? Why did I do this then? What does that mean?
Do you think it comes with responsibilities?
I did. At one point in my life.
And there's a lot of people that do think that.
And I fall back on that inadvertently, subconsciously, if I'm not careful.
Right. And I think this is a very crucial part of our.
I built a whole nursing career where I'm basically, like, for example, in the ER or in the OR, I have created an entire career of being someone's proverbial wife,
Yeah.
anticipating what tool they're going to need next or what thing they're going to need next, so that I'm right there by their side, performing that work wife duty of giving them what they need.
Right.
An entire career built around that perspective.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. A lot of people do. When you start masking it and you start trying to hide it behind things, it is a belief you should really look at, because when you have a relationship where you have two independent people that come together and choose, when you have two independent people that come together, when one brings beliefs into the relationship that I don't need somebody, I choose to be with you.
Yeah.
And the other one brings in that I have to do something to be chosen.
Right.
It can cause a really weird dynamic.
It can definitely, it can make a wonky situation.
And people may be asking themselves, well, how do I change that? Because,
Yeah.
in today's society, yes, 50 years ago, the wife having wifely duties was normal.
Right.
Because they were single income households.
Mm-hmm.
Now, every household just about is two incomes.
Yeah.
Both people work.
Right.
But yet we still have this weird dynamic that it's the woman's responsibility to take care of the children. The man comes home, pops open a beer, and sits in the recliner.
Right.
And how is that balanced? And how is that fair? She just worked 40 hours a week that week too.
Exactly.
Because I can tell you why. Because the women still get viewed that they don't work as hard as men.
Yeah.
And raising kids and working 40 hours a week is not always an easy job.
No.
When it comes to today's world, when you have people that bring in those values in there, they're useless. It's useless because all it does is cause, first of all, the person bringing them in issues. And second of all, it now creates a problem for the other person.
Well, the person bringing them in, and I can talk on that behalf, I felt a sense of...
And don't get me wrong, I have baggage too.
What's my purpose then?
Right.
I found myself lost on, okay, well, then I don't know what this means and I don't know how to do this. And it almost, for a time in our relationship, caused a kind of panic situation of, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Like, what's the point? And I was lost and had to figure out what is my new...
Right.
What is my new purpose then in all of this?
And that's where relationships go really weird.
Yeah.
When people don't know how to live in a way that the other person doesn't need them.
Without a purpose,
Right.
right?
I choose to be with you. I don't need you to do my laundry. I don't need you to run my bath water. I don't need you to go to the refrigerator and get me a beer. I don't, and I choose to be with you independently and honor you, who you are and where you are.
Right.
And when people in relationships now can come to a point
Which includes sex.
Yeah.
It's part of the whole paradigm of wifely duty. That's incorporated in it too. And what it does on the female side is it makes sex then more of a chore to check off of a to-do list like you would house chores, instead of giving it the space to move around and actually be a thing that you experience from a place of enjoyment and not obligation.
That's the key. That's the key right there.
Right.
Because
there's no room for us to, I can only speak for myself, but there's no room for me to enjoy it because it's an obligation and I'm just trying to check it off of a list. Okay, this is a chore done this week, right along with laundry and dishes and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not leaving any room for it to take on any other persona.
Agreed. And that brings me to a place to where this is where unintended consequences come into play, because there are people that joke around about, I'll tell you how to keep your man happy and not cheating on you. You keep his belly full and his balls drained. I've heard that joke a million times. I've seen it just today on YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm going to challenge men to step up and be independent, first of all.
Right.
Second of all, newsflash, ladies, y'all ready for this?
We are.
No matter what you do, if your man's going to cheat, he's going to cheat.
That's
It hasn't
right.
got nothing to do with you keeping his belly full and his balls drained. It ain't got nothing to do with it. If he's going to cheat, he's going to cheat. It ain't got nothing to do with that.
And it doesn't mean that
And it ain't got nothing to do with you.
Right. It doesn't mean that you're unworthy of love or
Yeah.
unworthy of perfection or, any of that garbage that comes up with when you're talking about that stuff. I can only speak for me. What was tangled up in it was, if I'm not perfect, then I am not worth loving.
Right.
If I don't do all of my wifely duties, then I don't deserve love.
Do my laundry, lady. Because I am not man enough to wash my own clothes.
And I'm gonna give you 50 lashes with the thumb size switch that I find out in the yard. Right.
And and this is the crazy part about this. And I've actually worked with somebody that said this. The woman it was in counseling, and she says, he always expects me to do his laundry. I work too, and I have to cook. I have to take care of the baby, and he sits and watch TV in the chair, and I'll hand him the baby and go through all that, right? And I said, well, have you asked him to do his own laundry? He says he don't know how. So you have a man that is an engineer that goes all day long and figures out how to use different tools and how to build things.
How to build a fucking rocket that goes to the moon.
But he doesn't know how to work a washing machine.
Right.
First of all, I don't know if y'all ever heard this before, but I call bullshit.
We call bullshit.
And so that's a challenge I'm going to put out there to the man is, first of all, quit, just quit. We are 50 years, 70 years past that crap.
Right.
Take care of your dang self and enjoy your life with somebody you choose to be with, not somebody you want to live to wait on you hand and foot. That is ridiculous.
Right.
It is just
If you want that, move back in with your mommy.
Right. Go live in your mama's basement, for God's sake. It's like, because it makes guys like me, because don't get me wrong, I wasn't perfect for a good number of years, and I'm still not perfect to this day. But, I have been in bad spots in relationships. I have cheated. I have done all sorts of things in relationships. But what I did do is learn.
Right.
I did become somebody different.
Yeah.
And because I chose to be somebody different.
Yeah,
and I don't need anybody. And when we have these guys out here that are setting these standards, and these moms and these grandmas are teaching these daughters these responsibilities, and these men that aren't raising their sons or telling their sons.
Yeah, you're just perpetuating.
You're just perpetuating this freaking cycle of things it's not going to go nowhere.
Yeah, and then they become adults who are in therapy because their life is not working.
Or they end up divorced 100 times.
Right. And they have to get therapy and try and figure all that shit out.
Right. And here's the crazy part about this is it's very easy.
Yeah.
And it's one sentence. That all you have to do is, dads, sons, whoever they are, any guy out there, it's one sentence. And it's, I am man enough to take care of myself.
Or I am woman
enough to take care of
myself.
I don't need somebody else. I choose to have somebody else.
That's right.
And I'm definitely not going to compile my responsibilities on somebody else.
Right.
That is not being a man. That's not being a leader. It's not being a leader.
Well, it's not just the men. Women do it too.
Right. I totally agree.
There's women out there that take that reverse role and expect the man to do everything while they sit around blowing the polish dry on their fingers.
Right. I heard somebody making fun of somebody that one day here, but I don't know, 6-7 months ago, because he was a stay-at-home dad. The wife was the breadwinner. He stayed home with the kids.
Yeah.
And there was actually a couple of people making fun of him. I told him, I'm like, bro, just do you, man. If it's a negotiated thing between you two, then do it. That's fine. It's not a big deal. But there was other people that were saying, "Oh, you're not a man. You're not taking care of your family." And he is taking care of his family. He's probably actually going to raise two very good kids. And he said, I take care of the house. When she comes home, she don't have to do nothing.
Yeah, and if that's how the negotiation is panned out for them and it works, and
I agree with that scenario. If one person works and the other one don't,
it doesn't matter the gender.
Right.
It's what works in your particular situation and what the two of you have communicated and negotiated your gives and takes.
Correct. 100% correct. But anyway, so the perpetuation of this pattern of evolution between couples over the last 50 to 70 years is the most ridiculous thing. And shame on this society. We need to fix it. You know, everybody is equal. Everybody should be taking care of themselves and choosing to be. And I guarantee you divorce rates will drop way down when people come into the relationship with the thought of, I don't need you to take care of me. I don't need you to provide me with anything. What I am choosing you to spend my life with you.
And if you're the one bringing in the baggage, like me, who was the wife with all these wifely duties, it's very freeing to have a relationship such as ours where I was able to let go of that baggage and really experience a new kind of relationship without the have tos.
Right. And this brings me back
to. And so then what ends up happening?
You get to. That's a good way to put it.
I don't have to now. Mm-hmm. I get to if I want to.
Right.
But because it was such a long practiced habit, sometimes even I get caught in an unaware state and I begin to tell the story that overthinks the situation.
Totally agree. We all do it to the extent in certain ways.
And so so what do we do about it?
Like me, I open your car door every time we go somewhere.
Right.
Do I have to do that? Do you expect me to do that? No, I get to do that.
Right. Exactly.
I do it out of respect and love because I chose you. You chose to be with me. And doorknob shouldn't be in your hand.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm sorry, it's just me.
Right.
But it didn't used to be me. Don't get me wrong. That didn't used to be me. But in my change of life, in my changing myself, I changed a lot of my practices.
Right.
And one of those.
But you did it because you wanted to.
That's right. I did it by myself.
Not because somebody said, "Oh, you're going to open my door," or "We're not going to be together."
Right. I didn't like who I had become.
Right.
And so I became somebody different.
But the key is that you made that change because that's who you wanted to become, and what one of the things that you wanted to embrace and do.
Right. I have no regrets for who I was, but I'm very proud of who I am now.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it works, really.
Yeah.
And so I guess if, people are out there and they're like, okay, well, then how do I start? What do I do? What's the first step?
Well, and this is pretty easy. I think the first step of this scenario is stopping to realize that you're bringing problems to the table, that it's not the other person's fault. If there's something that is bothering you, that's on you. Yeah. That's the first thing you have to realize.
Yeah, that's the first thing is that if it's bugging you, then it's your problem.
It's your problem, not theirs.
You got to dig in there and you got to look at that.
Right, you can't deflect.
If it's not bothering you, then there's no belief or anything in there, and you give it no definition, you give it no emotion, because there's no point. It's not bugging you. So the minute that it starts to feel uncomfortable or offensive or blame, whatever those emotions are that it triggers inside of you, that's a big indicator that you've got some work to do. You've got some stuff to look at.
Alarm bells going off on that belief.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And, kind of like
and one of those things that is more than likely happening is you're telling yourself a story that's a lie.
Yeah.
Hence overthinking things.
And that's right. Hey, way to bring it back. That used to be my job. What happened?
And so if you've come to the discovery point where you've created a story in your head and you're not sure if it's accurate or if it's just an outright lie that you've told yourself to make things feel better,
Right.
go to your partner and say, listen, I've been tooling around with this. This is what I've come up with. Can you help me by identifying, is this just a dumbass lie I'm telling myself? Or is this something that has any truth to it whatsoever? And talk it out with your person.
Yes.
And
I
that'll
agree.
enhance communication. That'll give you a sounding board, and it will identify. Because if he looks at you and says, "You're telling an outright lie,"
Yeah.
now you can't get offended or have
Right.
your feelings hurt because you went to him and asked for that verification. You got to just big
Right.
girl up or man up and say, "All right, I asked for that, and it's a lie. Now what am I going to do with it?"
And that is the number 2 part of it. That you perfectly said that. I think you worded that well. I said I would add one little thing to that.
Yeah.
Is when you open the door to a belief and you bring it up to your partner to communicate it, is you have to be understanding that sometimes that person's going to say, listen, I don't know where that's coming from,
Yo, shit stinks.
but that is a dirty diaper.
Yeah. And you've got to be open and receptive if you're going to bring the other person in from a place of, okay, I asked for it. Don't ask for something that you can't handle without going into a place of defensiveness and create an all out argument, war over because you asked for the information.
Right.
Don't turn it into an argument and take it defensively like the other person, be it he or the she of the, or the he and the he, whatever your partner's gender is, makes no difference.
Right.
But if you bring it up to your partner as a sounding board, make sure you're ready for what comes out of that person's mouth when you ask for the assistance in clarifying whether it's just a dumbass lie and you're ready to get rid of it. Don't go into defense mode because that'll create an argument.
Well, you see, that's one thing that I do. Like when I bring something to you that we can talk about, if I need to talk about something,
Yeah.
I don't look at you as my wife. I look at you as my counselor. And I do it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
You know,
whatever.
like yesterday when we were talking to Misty Nichols, by the way, she owns a fortune teller seller, and she's on Facebook. Look her up. She's a tarot reader and probably one of the best tarot readers that I have ever experienced in my life.
Yeah.
But she said it well yesterday when she said, people come to me and they get mad when I tell them things. And she says to them, listen, it ain't me that's talking.
Yeah.
It's you. And if you can't take what you're hearing, it's on you. Because these are your cards. I mean, this is your reading. It's not my reading.
Right.
You're not reading me. These cards are reading you.
That's right.
And it's on it. And so when you go to have that conversation and understand that, approach that person in a way of, I really, truly want to know the answer to this question.
Yeah.
And be open-minded. You can't get defensive.
And accountable.
Because I totally agree.
By golly, shadow work is not a fucking spa
There's
day.
a reason why it's called shadow work.
And be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
The minute that you ask for a tarot reading or the minute that you ask to talk to your partner and bounce it off of them, know what you're going into and be open to receive whatever constructive criticism comes out in a true, I'm ready to receive this. I'm ready to look at the nitty gritty dirt of it and do something about it. Not from that martyr victim place of
He's so
I'm
mean
going
to
to
me.
passively aggressively turn this into a narcissistic, well, I do that because you do this bullshit thing, because that's not beneficial to anybody and
Right,
it starts
agree.
fights.
And
So
it's sometimes it's people's first nature, because that was really my first nature for a very long time.
if that's where you're at, then don't even bother having the conversation.
Right.
Keep it to yourself until you're absolutely 100% ready for that person to have whatever come out of their mouth. Because even if you go to them and say, okay, I want to pass this by you, but I really want you to sugarcoat it because I'm a tip bag. That's
Right.
not beneficial. It's not helpful. Don't waste their time and don't freaking waste your time if you're not ready to get hardcore about it and take what they're telling you uncoded with sugar and freaking deal with it.
Right.
If
You
you're
know-
not ready to get real about it, then waller in your crap and move on.
Yeah, totally agree. And there's another part to that. It's like for me, when I bring something to you that's baggage for me, and we talk through it, and it's, pattern or belief or whatever it is going on. When I bring it to you, I have to change who I am as well. Because
how so? What do you mean?
When I bring something to the table and it gets brought up, and if it makes me emotional, it has to be okay. You have to allow the emotional guidance system to work its process.
Right.
And so making yourself, especially on the side of the masculinity side.
Right. Okay.
We have a tendency to not allow our emotions to show.
Yeah. I get it.
And emotions are part of our life. And if you can't be man enough to have emotions, then you're not, or be masculine. Let me rephrase. It's not even about man and woman. Who cares what sex it is? It doesn't matter what sex it is. If you are not a strong, spiritually grounded human enough to allow your emotions to guide you through the process of changing the way you think and making yourself feel better, then what are you doing?
Right. Because 9 times out of 10, not allowing yourself to experience the emotions of a situation just keeps you in that trauma loop.
Yeah.
Because you're not dealing with the emotions, you're keeping them bottled up, and
That's right.
just holds the energy of that thing and not allowing you to release it fully.
That is 100% correct.
You got to have the emotions in it.
And
whether that be tears or anger or whatever that is.
I totally agree, and I think I'm going to tell everybody the secret to a relationship.
Ooh,
you ready? Everybody's going to hear this.
Listen in.
This is the secret to all relationships. If you want to have an awesome relationship,
do tell.
You ready?
Yeah.
They don't have to be with you; they choose to be with you.
Bingo.
They don't have to do anything.
That's right.
They can choose to get up and leave today. They can choose to stay with you today.
Yeah.
They can choose to hold your hand when they walk. They can choose to run in front of you 100 yards because they're embarrassed by you. It is their choice. And when you have enough respect for yourself to understand that that person is with you because they're choosing to be with you, it will change the way you look at everything.
But it will also change for them.
And change for them as well.
When they are no longer obligated to perform.
That's right.
Then it gives them freedom as well. And then you get to experience a relationship where freedom is the name of the game.
That's right.
And every single second and every single moment has the opportunity to take on its own, just amazing energy because it hasn't been predefined or pre-boxed of it's got to look this way or it's got to look that way or it's not right or I've got to perform this or she's not going to be happy or I've got to perform this or he's not going to be happy. When you can break free from all of that nonsense and come to that place of, you know what? I sit here because I choose to
be there. That's right.
He sits there because he chooses to. It not only allows me the freedom of that choice, but it allows the freedom of that choice on your side as well. Then the relationship morphs into a whole nother thing completely.
Right. That's another part of this. The last part, I think, for me in this conversation is, you and I, when we first got together, we said we're not going to get married because that piece of paper doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
All it does is a marriage certificate comes with
that
societal taught responsibilities.
Boxed in.
And the reality is marriage is a choice.
Yeah.
Relationships are a choice.
Right.
Like the first time I got married, we went in front of the pastor and he said, Okay, James, you have to love, honor, respect, obey, be a good present man, a man of God. you have to do all of these things. And I was like,
oh no.
What? But wait. And so marriage certificates come with these societal taught crap.
Yeah.
It's all societal.
Pre-programmed energy of expectation and judgment.
Right.
And just
You and I
bullshit.
agreed to not ever get married. We ended up marrying during COVID because we heard the stuff that was going on. The part of it for me is the parameters and all the crap that comes with that piece of paper. That is not freedom.
No.
That is basically paying the state to tax you to enslave some the other person. It doesn't make any dang sense.
Right. Yeah, it's a legal form of slavery
almost. And I, don't get me wrong. I'm not bad mouthing marriage, and I'm not saying any of that kind of stuff. That's not what I mean.
For us,
what I mean is when you enter into that relationship, and if you go to get married to somebody because you all both choose to be with somebody, with the other person, don't take that for granted. And don't fall into that societal top belief that I've got to love, honor, obey, respect everything my man says because dead till death do us part. Well, no shit. We're all dying. But to be real about it is understand that
the rabbit hole of that is till death do us part. If you spiritually have a death aspect of you where you recreate a whole new you because you've learned everything that you needed to learn from that individual, that's a form of death. So then that gives you the permission to divorce them.
Yep.
It does?
Yep.
So I'm not going to hell?
Nope.
Can I get an applause?
You know why?
Why?
Because that piece of paper wasn't made by spirit. That piece of paper is a way for you to be taxed.
Ooh,
It has nothing to do with beliefs, and it definitely has nothing to do with relationships.
Right.
Yeah, it's fun to hang on the wall and say, "Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Emery, thank you."
Does
I just enjoy this. We don't even know where our marriage certificate is. Oh, yes, actually, we do. We found it when we got the passports.
Well, I was going to say, I had to drag it up and find it because we had to have it for the passport so we could go on our cruise.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody actually hangs it on the wall, do they? Maybe
yeah, they do.
Some people do. They hang it on the wall. Oh, my God. That's crazy.
And the place where we were yesterday, it was hanging on the wall.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I shouldn't laugh so hard.
Yeah. Wow. Hanging on the wall. But anyway, and so just to everybody to kind of clarify and top everything off in this scenario, it is not your job to take care of your person. It is your job to respect them and choose to be with them and respect their beliefs and where they are.
Right. And so what does that mean? That means, like, I'll give a couple of examples. Like, for example, if your breadcrumb is, you know what, I've got some unfinished business. I need to go follow this breadcrumb to the casino.
Oh, I did that to you 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. My respect to you is that, okay, cool. You got to follow some breadcrumbs. And your offer back is, do you want to go? And at that point, I get to choose.
Right.
Do I want to go? It's not my breadcrumb. Or do I want to stay home and you go take your journey yourself? And that is a very freeing feeling versus the way I used to run, which was, oh my God, my man says he's doing this. As a loving wife, it's my wifely duty to go and support him and honor whatever this is, even if I don't freaking want to do it. I must attend this thing and stand by his side. There's even a song, Stand by my
man. Stand by your man. It's a 50 song, of course.
Right. And so I could stand there and I could say, it doesn't matter to me personally, either way in that situation, whether I stay or whether I go. Okay, so then do I want to go and check out the casino for myself, or would I rather stay at home? What's the enjoyment factor there either way? Mm-hmm. And then I make the choice. 9 times out of 10,
Freedom.
9 times out of 10, I go because I'm curious about what this whole adventure is for you.
Get it? Yeah.
And I enjoy watching it unfold for you. So a lot of times I'll go just so I can
it didn't
watch
unfold very well for me last time. It wasn't very much fun. I learned something. That's all that matters.
But anyway, that's what it boils down to is don't overthink it.
Right.
Like,
don't overthink life.
I'll give you an example of overthinking that simple scenario. Okay, wait. Okay, so he is going to go to the casino. I don't really want to go, but if I don't go, he's going to think that I'm not supporting him or that I don't love him or that I am not going to honor his place where he's at in his journey. Then I'm going to look like a bad wife and then we're going to come home and I'm going to have some resentment because I had to go instead of because I would rather be at home watching TV in my sweatpants. This is my one and only day off too. How dare him drag me into this nonsense of this stupid journey that he's on when I would rather be on my couch watching a Disney movie in my sweatpants.
And eating your chocolate ice cream.
Like that's overthinking a boxed
Way
in
overthinking
perspective.
All I wanted you to say is, do you want to go or not?
Question of, hey, like I'm going to go follow this spiritual breadcrumb. I'm inviting you to go if you want to. If you don't, it's cool with me either way. I don't care. Don't overthink it and
don't think that means that person doesn't want you to go.
Right.
It's freedom. In this example, I do want you to always go with me.
Right.
But it's your choice.
Right.
I don't own you. I ain't your daddy.
But if I had done that whole overthinking process, essentially what could have...
You said if I had done, you did do that.
I did?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Really?
Yeah, you like, I really don't want to go, but I'm going to go. And then I asked you, like, why did you go if you didn't want to go?
Oh, so I was speaking like the truth.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
See, guys, what happens? Like, I'm just human. My poop stinks just like yours does, man.
Yeah.
Well, then it can take you to a place of resentment, and you resent him for dragging you into that dumbass situation.
And don't fall into the trap either.
And there's no point in resenting him because he didn't do anything wrong. Your own dumbass story and your own dumbass baggage, my dumbass overthinking, my dumbass not just speaking my truth and saying, no, you know what? I want to stay home and hang out on my couch.
Yeah.
I need to be resenting myself.
Right. Yeah.
The resentment needs to be pointed right back at me because I'm the one that didn't honor my truth of what I really wanted to do because I am still trying to honor some dumbass baggage of wifely duty paradigm.
Yeah, totally.
The June Cleaver syndrome.
Yeah.
We done with that.
Yeah.
Put a match to
checking
that.
out with that.
Strike that match.
Dude, kind of finish out this topic because we're getting pressed on time here. Is understand this really, you can make your life so much easier. Understand, first of all, that everybody has a choice. It is a choice for them to be with you. And if you're allowing your mind to wander on things and assume on things, just remind yourself that person is choosing to be with me.
And that what you may be putting around in your head in this story is probably just an outright lie.
Yeah, totally. 100. It probably 99% of the time it is a lie.
Yeah.
Now there are the rare occasions that it's not a lie. It is what it is. It is what it is. And remember, it's a choice. They don't have to be with you.
And you don't have to be with them.
That's right. Hey guys, don't forget to like, follow, and share. Hey, check out our website, www.themercenters.org. The Spiritual Grind is on YouTube. You can actually link it from our website. And our Salty Tarot store is up and running.
Yeah.
You can get Spiritual Grind merch on there, and you can get Salty Tarot merch. And you can also, what else? Salty Tarot merch, Spiritual Grind, Merc Center merch.
Oh, yeah. Merc Center merch.
If you go on Instagram and look up the Salty Tarot and follow us, it's not Salty Tarot, it's the Salty Tarot. If you would like, follow and share them as well, because we are posting in there starting next week. So go ahead and follow the page, and you'll get notification when the world famous app comes out.
Oh, yeah. And we are still working on the videos. We haven't
Yep.
We haven't forget about that.
I'm waiting for some software downloads.
We're having to go through the learning curve of how to put a video together and all of that. So sometimes learning curves.
If there was just one person, it would be easy. But there's two of us.
Right.
And so you have to have three to four cameras, and you have to have multi-camera view
if you
and
want
studio.
to do it right, you do.
You want to do it right.
You don't want to just do some dumb jackass
If you want to give it justice.
video.
Right.
So we're going through that learning phase, but they are coming. Don't give up on us.
I actually thought about us going to that place that you could do your podcast in their studio. You pay them to do it. And then they
video it.
And they video it and do all that.
Maybe. I didn't know that existed.
Yeah. There's one here.
Oh.
Anyway, that's really all I got.
Ring that bell.
Oh, yeah, for your notifications. All righty. Hey, y'all have an awesome day.
Love ya.
That was my sexy voice.